Hi, everybody. I'm here with Angie Verros, and we're Recruiter Enablement. Angie, good to see you. Thank you for joining me. Give us a quick introduction to you.
Yes, thank you. Long time in the making. I'm so excited that we're finally here, Adam. So thank you for having me on. My name's Angie Verros. I've been in the recruitment space for about 20 years. I am currently the founder of Vaia Talent. We are a sourcing company where we help companies when they're looking to scale and they don't have the internal capacity. So that's where we come in to help them grow their teams.
Wonderful. Okay, so just recruiter enablement. Like, give us your insights. What's it all about, and tell us about things you think people need to be doing.
Yeah, so I think that recruiter enablement is something that everybody should be thinking about. I think that, let's really, really equip our teams so that they have everything at their fingertips in order to be successful. And when I say be successful, I mean, let's equip them with the right content that they need to reach out to candidates. Let's equip them with the right tools that they need to use to be successful recruiters. I think a one-stop shop, if you will, where all of our team members can go in and collaborate together, as opposed to, like I started back in the day as full life cycle recruiter, managing my desk. I was thrown into it. I had no resources, no tools, and I just tried to do whatever I could in order to be successful. Well, wouldn't it be nice if there's 20 people managing their own desks, and I know that's an old school term, but they're all able to collaborate with each other and all be on the same page. And then that way you're enabling your teams to perform and really not make a bad name of themselves also, because I think you and I both know, Adam, that there's a lot of spam out there. There's a lot of messaging that goes out because we're not educated properly on how to reach out to candidates. So just generally giving anything and everything to our teams, to our recruiters, to our sourcers, to set them up for success. I mean, that's the way that I envision, recruiter enablement. And I think that that's really, really what we need.
I think, you touched on the term collaboration there, and I feel like recruiters are typically lone wolves by personality. They are very self-sufficient. They get on with stuff, but they don't necessarily, they're not necessarily accustomed to sharing because they've got to get their own stuff done. And so I think making it as easy as possible for them to collaborate means they're far more likely to do it. But you've been doing this for some time at Vaia Talent, and it'd be great to hear about like some of the activities that you have felt are really worth prioritizing, like enabling people with, whether that's around content or processes or learning or whatever it might be. What are the different things that are most important for you?
Yeah, for us, I think the most important thing was the candidate and client facing team. So we have a couple different teams. We have our sourcing team, and they don't client face, they go out and they hunt. So they could do that. We enable them with the right tools. We give them the sourcing tools. We give them sourcing techniques. So they go out and they research and they find the candidates. But really where we were focusing on were our recruitment project managers. Those are the people that are client facing and they're also candidate facing. So in order for us to be consistent across all of our clients, we wanted to make sure that our recruitment project managers were doing things the same way. Now, I totally understand that recruiters have the lone wolf thing, that they want to do things on their own and they want to create their content and they want to do things their way, which I totally understand. That's how I've been as well. Same. But wouldn't it be great if we gave them a space where they could grab some content, grab some information that's consistent across the organization so that we all look the same. When we're talking to clients, here are a couple of templates that you can use after your first calibration meeting, after your second, whatever the case may be. Here's a follow-up template that you should be sending to the client. And then of course you can customize it because you're going to have a relationship with your client. So you'll be able to add your little flair, whatever you want to. Or for example, when we're reaching out to candidates, like that's super, super critical for me, is that when we reach out to candidates, We don't want to sound like every other recruiter. And I'm not saying this in a bad way, but we would like to stand out from the rest of the recruiters so that when we reach out to candidates, they reply to us. So I pride myself in how we write outreach, and I write all of our campaigns. And of course, I encourage our team to write theirs as well. But we have with templates. And so you can go in, and if you're going to be messaging someone who is you're going to be messaging an engineering candidate, well, here's a template that we think will stand out, but then of course add your own flair to it. So there's a centralized place where we keep all of our information so that our recruiters are consistent. We do have the occasional, well, I don't want to use the templates and I want to create my own. Well, that's great. We encourage creativity, but use these for inspiration, right? So that's the biggest piece that we really, really like, is to make sure that everybody has a safe place that they can go to get the information they need, so that they don't feel like, oh, should I be writing this? Oh, should I be doing this? There's a place where we guide them on what they should be doing in order to, what we believe, to set them up for success.
Yeah, words really matter. And you can say something in two different ways and it lands completely different to the other individual. It's yeah, it makes a big difference.
Yes.
Generative AI, this is an enabler, I think. So like something that has been on your development, like for the organization in the last year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of ChatGPT. I'm in there asking questions, asking specifics, because I'd like to create something, specific for whether it's an email or whatever the case may be, a message to my team. I think we should use it. I don't think it's going to replace us, because at the end of the day, and I know I probably sound very old school, people still need people, and people still need to talk to people. But I do believe that generative AI will assist, right? Will enable us to do things quicker, maybe to do things better. I like writing, and when I personalize to, prospects or candidates, I always write an email, and I highly customize it. And I know I spend more time than I probably should, but I'd rather, send one email and get a response than send 10 emails and get, no responses. So I always, copy and paste some of the content that I'm writing into ChatGPT to give me ideas. Then I ask it to add some humor. Then I ask it to write the message shorter, or, then I ask it to, whatever the case may be. So for me, it aids me in my day to day, but it's definitely not going to replace our day to day operation. And I know that this is also cliche, but tools and technology are here, and there's so much out there, and sometimes there's a lot of noise. But it takes the person and the process to make those tools work successfully, right? And so if you have a solid process and you have the right mindset of how to use those tools to help enable, again, we go back to that word, right? Enable you to be successful. I mean, that's pretty much it at the end of the day. But I love ChatGPT. It's kind of scary sometimes, but I really like it.
Yes, yes. Okay. Angie, thank you so much for your time today. It's been really good to find out more about what you do. I know there's actually, having spoken to you a lot about this over the last few weeks, I know there's a lot of other things you do as well, but let's maybe talk about it again in a few months' time, because there are other things that I want to cover with you. But in the spirit of keeping this bite-sized, my pleasure for having you, and thank you. I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it.